Welcome back to US Virgin Islands Chess. It's your operator Colin Heim, technical support. US Virgin Islands Chess Expansion Project 2021, excuse me. Wow, I'm really outdated. Okay guys, let's look at a fun one today. And I got a nice game for everyone. English opening, my opponent here with white pieces. Let's get right into the virtual analysis and the virtual tutorial, guys. It's a fun one. My opponent, Darren Wang. Somebody named Darren Wang. And Wang had the white pieces. He started the game with playing 1c4, English opening g6, hyper-modern defense. d4, bishop g7, e4. Now it turns out that the hyper-modern defense isn't quite as good for players who are a little more advanced, but on occasion I still tend to play hyper-modern defense even if it's a stronger opponent, just to see what they got. This guy happened to be rated somewhere FIDE online at around 1200. So now he's going for the Seni-Pawn wall. He's a good player. d6, developing the kingside knight, developing the kingside knight, developing the queenside knight, short castles for myself. So black has castled first. Bishop to e2 played by my opponent. And now bishop to g4. Bishop to g4 is a decent continuation. Short castles. Okay, so only 7 moves have been played, knight to c6, and now look at how developed the game is. So this is only 7 moves in, both players have castled. Looks like a pretty serious chess game, guys and girls. Let's continue. a3 played by my opponent, not allowing the knight to make progress. And probably also for other reasons. Good prophylaxis. Knight to d7. The knight to d7 we don't see too often, but I have to get some counterplay. And it turns out that it's like a mediocre move. It's an okay move. d5 played by my opponent. Knight c to e5, evading the attack, of course, and now hoping for captures. And this is exactly what happened here in this match. Bishop e2, queen e2, knight captures. So this is all very well known. So far so good. And bishop f4 is pretty standard as well. I just went for h6 here, now maybe threatening g5. Maybe I want to play f5 shortly and start my kingside wave. Instead we saw rook from a to c1, and yes, now I encouraged myself to play g5 here. I was a little skeptical at first, but then after not dropping back the bishop, perhaps it was best to just maybe drop back the bishop somewhere to like d2, for example. Let's see what the engine says. Oh, the engine says any move is good, so captures. I just think after bishop into e5 that this dark squared bishop for Team Black is going to be superior here in this middle game. And let's see why. So now we've transitioned into the middle game. And let's see why. Or let's hear why. Okay, so this is what I know my opponent had planned with queen h5. That's what all that exchange variation stuff was about. So yeah, just king h7. Now that defends the h6 pawn. It's under attack by that white queen. Queen f3, queen d7, and this check, I mean, this is what was played in the game here, according to the algebraic notation that I have set up here. But, guys and girls, let's find a better move for white in this position. Yeah, anything like rook fe8, this is fine. And then maybe it's a little early to play f5, I'm not exactly sure. If captures, rook captures, and yeah, who knows? I think black's still a little stronger there. That was a little virtual analysis, guys, brought to you by myself, Virgin Islands technical support and operator. So instead we just saw, right, queen f5 and queen captures. Yeah, e captures, and let's just prove why now. We mentioned how the dark squared bishop is stronger. And after fe, and d into e6, wow, this is some good information for you guys. This should help you in your online chess and over the board chess, blitz chess as well. Rook a to e8, swinging that rook out of hell and getting into the fire. Now knight b5, as we noticed, threatens the c7 pawn as well as the weakened a7 pawn. But here just c6. And now, can you guys go on your own time, maybe play this over the board or set this up at home? Why is white not encouraged at all to just play knight captures on a7? Well, it's pretty obvious, because after I swing my e-rook, my black rook backwards, this knight has nowhere to go. It's encouraged that, you know, this is the best square, but then after takes. I mean, yeah, I think this is pretty much finished if you know what you're doing. Black has a bishop for 2 pawns. So that's why, after c6, my opponent just went backwards, dropped back to the c3 square. Now capturing the pawn that was isolated on e6, regaining the material. And now the material is equal, but as we mentioned, however, the minor pieces, the dark squared bishop for the queenside knight. Yeah, guys, the dark squared bishop is superior here. And now black actually has better rooks on this open file. See the open e file? Black has double rooks. And after rook to b1, which was just kind of like a move, without looking at the algebraic notation, this is why I wanted to show this game as well, because it's really fun, guys. 6 minutes in. Find the tactic here for black if you want to win this game. If you want to win in the classiest manner. Well, I gave everyone a hint. The piece that you move here starts with a B and ends with a shup. Do we see what the move is? Okay, right. Bishop captures on h2 is the best move. Why is the engine love this move as well as why is it just the best move? Well, what happens here if king captures? You're just winning a whole rook, and you're looking a whole lot better, being up exchange plus a pawn, so you're +3 in that endgame. Or if what was played in the game now, which was king to f1, which was supposed to be played, there's still this exchange: rook captures e, rook captures e, rook captures e, king fe. And this is the game against my opponent. And just dropping back bishop to e5. So through all that, a pawn was won. Now we see the material. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6 pawns for Team Black. And the bishop is superior to this white knight. I've said that now 4 times, but it can't be iterated enough, guys. You got to know when bishops are stronger than knights in certain middle games, and you got to know as you advance in your chess, based on positional awareness and how much time you've spent with chess, you get an idea of what knights are better in what positions and what bishops. Anyways, move 28. King slides up the board. Now my king is coming up as well, b4. And this is a perfect position after b4, a desperate move like b4. Guys, in this position, if you are fortunate enough to be on the black side, just capture that horse. And after king captures, you're 4-3 here on this queen side, and your pawns here are better against the 3. And let's see why. So king d3, hoping to defend king e5 now. King e3 and whoops. Let's take it back there. I slipped my hand. Sorry there, guys. So again, king e5, king e3, and b6. Right, a4, and see, notice how we can slow play this against white because it's just 4-3. No matter what happens after this, this is what was played in the game now, b5. Do you guys know which pawn to take with here? Do you know which pawn you're supposed to take with? Take with the c pawn. Right, take away from the center in this position because after c captures and a captures on b5, and now my king is closer to the isolated pawn on b5. So f4, played by my opponent. What do you guys play here? After f4, should be somewhat obvious if you're a chess player. G captures f4 check, king recaptures, and king c5. Now for sure, the b pawn is finished. King f5, and pushing the d pawn now off the board. These were all played in the game, these moves. King e5, pushing the d pawn again, whoops. King e4, and now moving away, and I will capture the b pawn, moving back towards the d passer pawn. And there is no way to defend both pawns as the king is in between both of these passer pawns. And I think we get the idea, guys. Good job, congratulations if you made it just before 10-minute mark. And I think that we can stop here. I want to thank you all for watching. Again, you guys are operator, your host, Colin Heim, technical support with U.S. Virgin Islands Chess. Let's go somewhere in this match again where perhaps perhaps white went wrong. Let's go back to queen f5 check. Yes, this position, queen f5 check. What was a better move for white, like we said? Just get one of these rooks swung over and, you know, pay more attention to the position. Yeah, this is good. Now black can just play a6, slow play it. Yeah, the center's closed, so if you push the pawn here, that doesn't really make too much sense unless white wants to get some, you know, initiative here. Anyways, take care, guys, and much more to come in the future. And that was an interesting English hyper-modern game brought to you by myself. Take care, everyone. Much more to come very shortly. See everyone on the other side of the board. Take care, and bye-bye for now.